Um, this is going to be a rambling. This is going to be a rant, and I'm gonna start like this, man. Why people are still voting when it comes to the president of the United States of America? Why people are still voting? And in my honest opinion, you're basically voting against your interests. Because think about it. The powers that be, the elite, they're choosing our leaders to vote for. They're choosing our leaders. Listen, either you're going to vote for the devil or Satan. Which one? And to tell you the truth, both of those candidates are two wings of the same damn dirty bird. So why are you people still voting? It does not make any sense to me. It really doesn't make any sense to me. It grinds my gears about how people really are. It really does, man. And also too, there's an old saying, knowledge is power, ignorance is bliss. And I have to beg to differ. Applied knowledge is power. Because if you don't use that knowledge, then guess what? It's all useless. You have to apply that knowledge in order for you to get the understanding and wisdom behind it. And when it comes to ignorance is bliss, I'm going to tell you right now, I beg to differ on that one too. Because not everybody, not a lot of people, but a nice amount of people, I'm going to say many people today, many people, especially in America, they know what they're doing. Of course, you got some people that are truly ignorant. That means they don't know. You know what I'm saying? Even I'm ignorant to some degree. That means I don't know a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Ignorant means you just don't know. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You just don't know. But you have a lot of people out here that don't want to know. And you have a lot of people out here that do know what the fuck they're doing. It's just that they refuse to do better. They refuse to do better. They refuse to improve themselves, and they want to keep on doing the same old thing. Look at each other booty holes and being cowards. I'm not that type of person because once I know better, I have to do better. Listen, once you get the answer, once you know better, that does not, you know what I'm saying? That should not give you an excuse to keep on doing the same old thing. Because once you know better, you're supposed to do better. You know what I'm saying? Because if you keep on doing the same old thing and you know better, that's your fault. That's your fault and that's your business. But you have many people out here that knows what the fuck they're doing. It's just that they refuse to do better or do something about it. And that's why that's why we as a people are in the state that we're in right now. A lot of people are messed up. A lot of people have past trauma. And we have to dive in deep when it comes to those situations. Listen, I understand that I have, problems too. I'm not the perfect person, which I'm not. I'm really not. But at the same time, I know what to do and what not to do. And if I don't know anything, I'm going to ask some questions. Here's another thing, man. Ain't nothing wrong with asking questions. In today's society, it's like, either you get it or you don't, or it's kind of like either you get it or you don't type of attitude. Like it's like when a person just tells you one time and that's it, and you're on your own. I kind of beg to differ because if you have like people that truly wants to know, that truly wants to do better, they have the right to ask some questions, and by asking those questions, they begin to do better. They begin to listen and comprehend and do better. But you have people out here that want to act like, oh, I'm going to tell you one time and that's it. You're on your own and all that stuff. And I'm like, I mean, that's cool and all, but at the same time, it's like, we need, you know what I'm saying? We can't just get it like at one time, We can't just get everything good at one time. What's that old saying? Practice makes perfect. That is so true. Practice does make perfect, man. Because listen, man, most people are not geniuses. Most people are not geniuses, man. And in order for you to get better, you have to practice. You have to practice. That is so damn true, man. In order for you to get better at anything what you do in life, it takes motherfucking practice. It takes self-improvement. We live in a society where it's superficial, very materialistic. And to tell you the truth, when it comes to certain things like being like being a rap, not being a basketball player, an athlete, or being, anything that you do in life, man, you have to, it's like you have to, I gotta put this, man. It's so many words, like you have to get it in one go. It's like they expect you to be a genius. Like they expect you to be like this number one top guy. But all the while you're just a working grunt. You know what I'm saying, trying to improve yourself. You get what I'm saying? When it comes to doing anything in life, like a job or being an athlete, they or being a fighter, a martial artist, a lot of people expect you to be this top of the line person or this genius level type of person. And it's like it doesn't work like that. Because when it comes to your top stars, you know what I'm saying, your top NBA stars or your top fighters like Muhammad Ali or Michael Jordan or LeBron James, whatever, guess what they had to do? They still had to practice, especially Kobe Bryant. Even him, he had to practice. The reason why Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant became so great is because they practiced. The reason why I'm gonna leave LeBron James out of it, because I've heard that LeBron James was a prodigy, so I'm gonna leave him out of it. But when it comes to Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, the main reason they became good is because they practiced. They trained and they practiced. They wasn't geniuses off the gate. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't the top of the line guys off the gate, like after high school and all that, like number one prospects. Hell no. They had to practice, man. Kobe Bryant, he had to practice to get where he was at, man. Even in high school, man, he had to practice. Even though when he got drafted, he was at the number 13 spot. He still had to practice to get to that damn spot. And when it came to Michael Jordan, he was within the first round. But in order for him to be a part of the first round draft pick of the 1984 rookies, he still had to practice. That man still had to practice. So when it comes to today's society, man, it's like, in my honest opinion, in today's society, when it comes to different things like being an athlete or when it comes to your jobs, whatever, they want people who are not only geniuses, but they want veterans. They don't want rookies. It's like they don't want people who came fresh out the gate that's trying to learn something new. They want either veterans or they want geniuses. They don't want to put time into training a person when it comes to doing this particular job, or when it comes to doing this particular skill, or when it comes to joining a team or whatever. You get what I'm saying? It's like these people want either veterans or geniuses. They don't want to train people. They don't want to train regular, ordinary people in order for them to do better. You know what I'm saying? That's why we live in a superficial world, man. People just want geniuses. They don't want the hard-working grunts in their companies or in their teams or whatever, man. They just want either veterans or they want geniuses. That's it. And to tell you the truth, that's not how the real world works. That's not how things work. Because in order for you to build a franchise, in order for you to build a community, an organization, you're going to need those hard-working grunts. You're going to need those blue-collar workers. Not just white-collar workers, but also blue-collar workers. Because those blue-collar workers, you know what I'm saying, shape the world. They basically help build the world. You know what I'm saying? By having all these trades in our here, by working with their hands, by these blue-collar workers working with their hands, they help build they help build communities. They help build cities. They basically help build civilizations. If it wasn't for those blue-collar workers, a lot of people won't be here today. Civilization would never be this would not be the same as it is right now without the blue-collar workers. You know what I'm saying? Without the hard-working grunts. We have to change our mindset, people, before it's too late. And the way how things is looking right now, we're not going to stop. So once this civilization, once this whole civilization goes down to the ground, I just hope and pray that once a new civilization emerge, they can learn from the old lessons. They can learn from the old lessons of the old civilization of what to do and what not to do. You get what I'm saying? Learn to do better. You know what I'm saying? Don't follow the same path as the old civilizations have done. You know what I'm saying? Create a new path. You know what I'm saying? Learn from them. You know what I'm saying? Learn from the old. So in that way, you don't have to make the same mistakes as the old generations have done. You know what I'm saying? Create a new path for the new civilizations, for the new generations to come. So we can all live better and do better. That's my thing. But that's all I gotta say about that, man. You know, that's all I gotta say. Like I said, man, I have a lot of ramblings. You know, I talk a lot, but it comes from my heart. It comes from my mind. It also comes from my heart. And people say, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about." Actually, I do because I studied. I studied, you know, history. You know, world history and all that stuff. You know, not just psychology. I don't study psychology that much. Maybe I should, but from my point of view, I study, you know, politics, a little bit of geopolitics, you know, politics, you know, a little bit of geopolitics, you know, world history and all that stuff. And I just come up with my own ramblings and my little solutions to the problems that we have today and all that stuff. So, you know, that's just my take on certain things, you know. And if people don't believe me, hey, so be it. That's their decision. But what they should do is, instead of just talking, why don't they just, you know, put their money where their mouth is and do the research for themselves? You know what I'm saying? Do the research for yourselves, man. And people don't, you know, people don't have to believe me. You know what I'm saying? You do the research for yourself and create solutions to the problems as well. Create solutions for your problems. You know what I'm saying? Find the solutions to the problems and also your problems as well. Because I'm not trying to make people believe me. I'm just venting. I'm just rambling on what I've been through and what I've seen throughout my lifetime and also for what I've studied. But that's all I gotta say about that, man. That's all I gotta say. Thank you so much and have a good day.